Eastern suburbs. We took flight. Come on. Born in Bondi, southern skies ignite. From the east, our spirits rise. Red, white, blue, our story told. From nothing we rose, made our claim. Eastern pride, we built our name. Stronger now, we never fall. Rooster spirit standing tall. Yeah, come on, feel that pride. Let's go. Since the start, the legacy lives. Passion, power, the heartbeat gives. Red and blue, we walk with pride. Fears by side, can't hide our vibe. Flags up high, crowd in sync. Roosters rule, we never blink. Eastern suburbs. Eastern suburbs. Red, white, and blue, we're flying high. Sydney Roosters reach the sky. Eastern suburbs. Roosters! Get up! Feel that pride! Grand on fire, glory set. Fighting with fire, no regrets. Yeah! Every tackle, every try, hit hard.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Sydney Roosters Diehards and welcome to your weekend news wrap-up. We've got a lot to get through over the next half an hour or so hit that like button, subscribe to the Sydney Roosters Diehards and give us a follow on the Instagram as well. We've got some exciting news in regards to starting tomorrow. Next week, as we guys know, it is game week on Saturday, next Saturday. Well, this Saturday, you could say. That we are in action for the first time in 2026. The Roosters take on the Tigers in Newcastle, and we have your game week covered here on the Sydney Roosters Diehards. I'll give you guys a little bit of a rundown on the schedule for this week. We've got a lot to get through, and then we'll go through the latest Roosters news, updates, and opinions, including the big bombshell around the NRL today, around Payne, which we'll get to very, very shortly. So we've got your game week covered on the Sydney Roosters Diehards, starting with tomorrow with our usual news roundup on Monday. On Tuesday, we're going to have our team list predictor video out in the morning before around about the same time usually for our news roundup. Due to work commitments, I won't be home right on team list Tuesday, but I will be, as soon as I get home on Tuesday, we'll be right on here on the Diehards to go through the latest reaction to the team list on the Tuesday. On Wednesday, we'll have our Chook Chat podcast with Leaguey, our season preview episode out with Leaguey on Wednesday afternoon sometime. And on top of that, with our regular news roundup. On Thursday, we're going to have another Chook Chat podcast. We've got a double episode this weekend with Joey from the Ruck Infringement podcast. He'll be jumping on for our regular Chook Chat podcast from our weekly news updates and that. And while Leaguey's is going to be our season preview one. And then on Friday, we're going to have our match preview as we go into the analysis from our upcoming trial against the Tigers. On Saturday, game day. Just a heads up, an FYI, our live stream watch-alongs will be on my personal channel, Hainsey_YT. I will put my link in the description if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to that. That's where we're going to have all my live stream watch-alongs for the NRL covered on my personal channel, including Roosters ones. And then after our match live stream watch-along on my personal channel, Hainsey_YT, we'll be jumping back on here on the Diehards for our match reaction video. And then following up on our Sunday with our news wrap-up, weekend wrap-up as per usual. So that is the schedule for you guys next week. We've got daily content coming your way next week as we prepare for our first trial game, the first game of the Roosters of the 2026 season. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you hit that. Like I said, guys, stay tuned to the Sydney Roosters Diehards. We've got a lot planned next week, and it's just exciting that game week is around the corner. We'll get into the live chat first. We've got Jake, as usual. Hello, Jake. Good to see you, my bro. Jason Reeder as well. It's late, too, over there in New Zealand as well. So great. Appreciate that Jason is with us. I do apologize for the late start. Obviously, I've been doing commitments today. Obviously, I did a little bit of a content piece with Mitch Field. Go check him out on Instagram, or just check out my Instagram. That video will be there. Did that he's running a straight challenge. And, it's some great fun there with Mitch, obviously being part of him in the charity match in a couple of weeks' time. So it's going to be great fun. It was great to link up with him yet again. And we've got Ethan Lawrence. Hello, brother. While we talk about Payne, can we talk about the Roosters? Look, I just feel like I need to have my say on it, and because I know there's a lot of Roosters fans, having their say on it. So I just thought I'd come and have my say, because a lot of the NRL community is, and I think not an opportunity not to miss. We'll also go through our Roosters pathway results as well over the weekend as well. So I think let's get straight into it. Great to have you guys here. I know it's late. I do apologize for the late start. But yes, let's talk about the big news today. Roosters fans, how are we feeling about this? Payne Haas has signed with the South Sydney Rabbitohs. He hasn't signed with the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Payne Haas has informed the Brisbane Broncos that he's shown interest to the Broncos to sign with the South Sydney Rabbitohs on a 3-year deal. So I'll get the statement out from the Rabbitohs and have my say on it. Rabbitohs have lodged a signed contract with the NRL for the Payne Haas to join the club from 2027 to 2029. The contract is now subject to a 10-day cooling off period. The Rabbitohs will be respecting the cooling off period rules set by the NRL. Rabbitohs will make note of blah, blah, blah. So basically, pretty standard from the Rabbitohs. Okay, but all right, let's get into it. So the situation is that Payne Haas has been given a contract. He's set to sign it, and then there's going to be a 10-day cooling off period for the Broncos to respond to it. I'm guessing the next 10 days will be very, very interesting to see how the Broncos will try and convince to keep Payne Haas at the club. But if this goes through, which I believe about 90%, most likely he will do it. This is big in the terms of South Sydney going forward. Look, I think it's fair to say that we've enjoyed South Sydney being a basket case for the last couple of seasons, finishing in the bottom 4 the last 2 years, and then they finished in 10th in 2023 when they were top of the ladder in round 11, and we knocked them out of the finals in 2023. That was always satisfying. But they're looking very, very good in the next year or two. So it's big for the game, but I feel that Roosters fans are sort of more annoyed about this signing more than the Broncos are. Like, let me know your thoughts. Like I've been speaking to Leaguey about it today. Like, Leaguey's not happy either. Like, us Roosters fans are not happy with this whatsoever, because the best front rower in the game has signed with our arch rivals, and the arch rivals are now starting to build a roster together that might challenge us for premierships in the next year or two. So I don't think it's I still think we were a better side than Souths, but they're starting to build a roster together that can be a premiership threat. And, we don't like seeing South Sydney at this end of the season. I know it's good for the rivalry and all that, but I do not want to see South Sydney anywhere near a premiership like we are. I want them down the bottom of the ladder. But, this is big news in NRL terms. If I take my Roosters hat off for a second, this is big news in the terms of the NRL. The Broncos lose their key man, their key front rower. And I think as well, no one saw this coming. There was talk about Payne Haas going elsewhere, but it was more rugby in R360. There wasn't talk about him signing with a Sydney club. And I think it feels like that. No, the thing that no one knew about it, it's more shocking. And that's what I love about, this type of journalism, this media stuff, when it gets released out of nowhere, when no one knew it was coming. Like if you compare the DCE signing to Payne Haas, we knew DCE was coming to the Roosters for 6 months. But this one, no. Like even when Angus Crichton decided to leave to go to rugby, there was talk about it for a couple of months. But this was no talk. No one even thought about Payne Haas even thinking about going to South Sydney. And, and a lot of people have gone to me and said, the Roosters, they failed to get another guy. We were never linked to Payne Haas. Payne Haas was never really linked to the Roosters. I know it's such an easy, as a journo, it feels lazy, don't you think? That's Payne Haas, set the test the open market. Oh, Roosters, yep, they'll be linked for sure. There was no interest, and I think it doesn't really make sense that he's gone to South, to be fair. Apparently he's got links with Latrell and David Fafita and all that, sure, but look, I feel like he needs a change. Good luck to him. He's gone to South Sydney. And yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of this. I just see what the NRL world up in arms about this is like, oh, this is what a huge signing for South. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, fuck this. Like us Roosters fans are like, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm like putting an arm around the Broncos fans' shoulders today and saying, hey, I feel your pain because he's going to Souths. If he was going to like the Bulldogs or the Panthers or the Tigers, Parramatta, I would have been sitting there because I hate the Broncos too, right? I live in Brisbane. I'd hate the Broncos as much as I hate Souths. But I feel their pain today because we're feeling it because he's signed with our arch rivals, and this makes the arch rivals side look so much better than what they already are right now. So that's why we're like, oh, there's a dagger, even though it does no whatsoever affect our club. The only link to it is because he's signed with our arch rivals, and we're sitting here and just like, oh, this is a dagger. Like, we're jealous maybe because they've signed a gun, the best front rower in the last so 4 years. It's insane. But yeah, like, where do the Broncos go from this as well? Like, I reckon this has caught the Broncos off guard as well. I think apparently they found out this morning that Payne Haas informed the club, informed players and coaching staff about the decision. I think this is a bombshell, considering the fact that they're in 24 hours time, they're on a plane heading to England for the UK for the World Club Challenge. And, this could be a massive derailment as well. And not to mention, and then a couple of hours later, Adam Reynolds is set to announce his retirement as well. So this has not been a great day for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. It's a great day for the Rabbitohs, but not a great day if you're a Broncos fan. And I do feel your pain because he signed with the arch rivals. You know what I'm saying? Like, is this what South fans feel like when we signed Cooper Cronk, when we signed Tedesco, and Reece Robson and all that? So is that what it feels like? But yeah, it's staggering news today, and yeah, like this has shaken the core of the NRL going into about what we're 3 weeks away from the season opener in Vegas, and this is some big news going forward. But I generally want to hear your thoughts, guys, because this is some really, really big news. Obviously, it won't until 2027, of course. But yeah, look, obviously, I wasn't. How old was I? 12 years old when they last won the comp Souths. And obviously, I wasn't fully understanding of the rivalry as much as I am now because I was 12. But I'm glad I didn't really remember much of them winning the comp. If they win the comp now while I'm this active on social media, it's going to be a dagger. And hopefully that doesn't happen. Look, and I don't want to jump the gun too. Like, a lot of South fans go, this is the greatest signing of all time. Like, he still hasn't even arrived yet. You know what I'm saying? So, obviously a lot of optimism. I all remember the optimism when Latrell signed with Souths, and how that turned out. That's probably, hasn't been the best marketing decision from South because let's face it, Latrell hasn't really fired a shot at Souths. Maybe one final series in 2022. That's about it. He was non-existent in 2020, 2021 either. And look at them the last couple of years. So, look, I'm not overly convinced that this is the signing that gets South Sydney into a premiership window. I mean, they'll be thereabouts, but I don't think that's them premiership favourites in 2027. They're still going to work out who they're going to be in the halves. Is Tony Walker going to be fit? Is Campbell Graham going to be fit? Is Latrell going to be playing every game? Like, David Fafita has been in and out of form at the Titans, so it's not all set and gloom. If it comes together, there'll be a scary side, but I'm not all that convinced. But yeah, it is something to be concerned. I'm not concerned about. There's something to keep our eye on. That South Sydney are on the rise, and yeah, it looks like we need to play even more better when we play South, and I do believe that. And I do believe that we still have a better forward pack than South Sydney as well. Like we got, with the Fahu White. I reckon the Fahu White will be challenging Payne Haas to be the best front rower in the game in the next year or two. You've also got, Lindsay Collins, who does his job every week. Obviously not to the level of Payne Haas, but he's still consistent enough. On top of that, you still got great back rowers in Gus, Siwa Wong, Victor Radley, Connor Watson. And then you look at our, bench options, Spencer and Payne Haas. Like that rivalry is going to kick off another gear when he's at Souths. Still got like the Celeste Fiketti, Blake Steep. Don't forget the Zalvata in our ranks as well. So look, I don't think there's nothing too much to concern about. I still think we've got a better side than Souths, but like it just makes the rivalry more juicy considering the fact how good their squad's going to be in 2027. But I'm keen to hear your thoughts. There's a lot of people in the live chat and a lot of people as well in the comments, and we'll get to you guys very, very shortly. So just give me one moment here. Where are we? Where did I last read? I'm ready to get around the boys. That's it, Jake. Appreciate it, brother. Makes no sense. Fever. Wonder if Payne will miss playing in front of 40,000 every week, every home game. For context, South's crowd was only 14,000 last year. Yeah, that's something to consider as well. He's gone from a full house from Suncorp every week to 15,000 in Homebush. So good luck to that, Payne. And good luck if you keep your teeth as well. That's just saying. If the only thing that makes sense is all his friends of Female Troll Wayne being there, but Rabbos have literally no spine. Yeah. Cody Walker's still, he hasn't been playing consistent footy. He's in the back end of his career as well. Humphreys, are we all convinced on him? If South fans, are they all convinced on him? Kind of thing. He had one good year. Jai Gray is a decent fullback. I'll give him that. Still a lot of questions and answers for me at South Sydney, in my opinion. Anyway, I can't wait for next week's game. We're going to hopefully have a good game. Yeah, I'm really excited. Obviously, we'll get obviously still undeciding on what our team's going to look like. I have a rough idea of what we're going to look like. I don't think we're going to play a lot of our big stars next week. I do think it'll be most of the fringe first graders having a run, but we'll definitely see some first graders in that side. But obviously, you won't see the likes of Tedesco's and the Tupos, DCEs, Robsons, Sam Walkers, and I reckon they'll be in the following week. But there will be still enough Roosters first grade experience and talent on the field come this weekend. Who gives a crap about that? They were just trying to sign players so they can't win a premiership. Yeah, look, could you imagine if we did sign Payne Haas or we signed to that caliber? The media would just blow up with the salary stuff. Yeah, South Sydney have signed Payne Haas and David Fafita in a month or two. And yes, they did lose Keon, but South would definitely have to pay overs more than what they offered Keon to get in there. So maybe investigate their salary some better, I guess. Thought they would go to Union. He'd go Union French top 40 or Super Rugby. Yo, that was a talk, especially in a Rugby World Cup season. But if he did sign with rugby and that, that makes sense. Yeah, World Cup and a South. I still can't get my head around the fact that this makes sense. Ben Hunt's going to be dropped for a mower. Off a Moser. Oh, yeah, maybe. At least Payne won't have to worry about paying the dentist anymore. That's just funny. Roosters don't need it. No, we don't really need it. We don't really need it. We don't really need anyone, eh? Like I said, I'm really happy with our squad at the moment, and I think we've got a lot of exciting future ahead. And hopefully we get to see more of it on show next week. All we need to do is re-sign our young guns. Yes, 100%. I think obviously there's been whispers that Siwa Wong has re-signed, so that's one way to that's a good start. Hugo as well. There's still a lot of so I think we're sweet. And I still think we've got a better side in Souths. Nick Pillai should have offered a couple houses or a pub. Like, why? We don't really. That's the thing. I don't understand why. We don't really need anyone. That's the thing. Like, that's my point of view, anyway. Butcher is good. Yes, he is. Nafahu White, 100%. Sam Walker off contract 2028. Don't even think about that, bro. No. Sam Walker staying. Broncos had their chance with him. Have you bought the away jersey yet? I bought mine tonight. I haven't bought mine, but they look absolutely stunning. And we've obviously had our say on it on the Diehards on Thursday, and it's beautiful. How the Rabbitohs able to give him 1.2 million for 3 other players bugs me, because I know if the other way around and we signed him, there'll be definitely be an investigation about it, right? Keep on hating, mate. It's a Roosters channel. Why are we going to be happy about this, bro? Why would we be happy about this? Anyway, thanks for tuning in, brother. Appreciate it. Haas went from making finals to missing finals. Yeah, it's like he's going to win a comp at South, right? So I take White over Payne any day. Like I love the Fahu White, and I made that call. I think the way he performed in the Pacific Championship against Payne Haas, and you know who else played? Time and did Papali'i play for Samoa or Jackson Paulo, Junior Paulo? Yeah, I think the Fahu White will be the best front row in the game in the next year or two. I do believe that. Strongly believe that. Went to the Rooster store today and had a peek. It looked amazing. Well, that's great to see. That's really, really great to see. Yeah, when I go down to the city next for the charity match, I'll definitely get my hands on it. How was running it straight? Oh, it was good. It was great fun. Yeah, shout out to Mitch Field. Great fella. I've met him a few times now, but yeah, he's, the fact that he flew up to Brisbane for, I'm not the only one he did it with today over the weekend, but I respect his commitment, man. And the series is blowing up. So check out on Instagram in that you'll see it. It was great fun, bro. But Payne Haas was taking Broncos on a dynasty lol was never happening. Yeah, look, tough day for Broncos fans, but like I said, if he didn't sign with South, I'd be more suck shit Broncos. But I sort of like, he signed with South. Come on. Anyway, what can you do about it? Obviously, I'm here to have my say. You guys are 100% allowed to have your say on it, which you are in the comments and that. But yeah, it's a bombshell. Like, and now I think the focus will be on how Payne Haas and the Broncos will get past this year. Can they see as a bit of more motivation to continue on with their chance of winning back-to-back premierships, or is this going to be a distraction? Time will tell. I think. Look, if there's any positive for the Broncos, it's out the way now. They can, have their little period where they'll have their say on it, and then they'll get back to business. They're on the plane to England tomorrow, so it's going to be very interesting in how this preparation is going to affect them towards the World Cup challenge. I don't think this is going to affect them too much throughout their season, but that will be the headline. Excuse me, that will definitely be the headlines for the Broncos throughout the whole year, wherever they go. Need more of these live streams and this content, just chatting and love your content. Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, obviously, come over from the my personal channel, but yeah, I'm on here pretty much every day now on the Diehards, going for the Roosters updates and opinions in that. So that's where you'll find me on here most days. And obviously, when the footy's on, we'll have our watch-alongs and all that kind of stuff on my personal channel and the vlogs and that. I think calling him the greatest prop of all time is premature. I still have Jared Hargreaves over. I listen to Guru and listen to Kempy today. They're like talking about Glenn Lazarus, Shane Webke, Petro, all these guys as the greatest front rowers of the NRL era. Like, and people just keep sleeping on Jared Hargreaves. Like, people forget that Jared won 3 premierships, played 300 plus games in the middle, and he was an alpha dog. And I still think I have Jared has more accolades, and the way he's done it for a long period of time, I still have him over Payne Haas. And Payne Haas is going to be one of the best front rowers we've ever seen, but he's not there yet. He's got the talent to be, though, but I'm still picking Jared any day of the week. It's a Roosters channel, mate. Of course I'm biased, but I genuinely believe that. Like, go look at Jared's accolades. Like, and Jared, what he did in the Super League as well. Like I generally think that Jared gets slept on. I think it's more the fact that he's not in this conversation because people didn't like him from how he played. So, but anyway, I'm not here to talk about Jared Hargreaves and that, but yeah, so we'll leave it at that. All right, we'll come back to that later because I wanted to just go through the other Roosters news from the weekend. Not a lot to talk about, obviously, but we'll go through the lower grade results from the weekend. We'll start off with the lower grades in the junior pathway. So we'll start off with the Laurie Daly Cup Central Coast Roosters side. They defeated the Northern Tigers at Woy Woy Oval 36 points to 12, and the Andrew Johns Cup 24-16. The Central Coast Roosters beat the Northern Tigers. In the Lisa Fowler Cup, the Central Coast Roosters beat the Panthers 18-16. The Tasha Gale Cup, the Indigenous Academy Roosters side won 34-4 over the Panthers. Harold Matt's Central Coast Roosters side 34-16 win over the Balmain Tigers, while the Tigers defeated the Central Coast Roosters SG Ball side 40 points to 4, which I believe that was the SG Ball's first game in the competition for the Central Coast Roosters side. So which is great to see. And obviously, the Harold Matts Roosters will go over now to the Sydney Roosters junior pathway. So the Panthers defeated the Roosters, Harold Matts' team, 32 points to 12 at Mascot Oval on Saturday. And then obviously the main game for us, for the feature for the weekend for us, was the Roosters SG Ballside, who are the reigning premiers in that competition, defeated the Panthers 18 points to 16, coming back from 16-0 down to run over the Panthers 18-16 there at Mascot Oval there on Saturday. Tries to Felipe Farcao, Darcy Smith, and Carter McHale. They were the three try scorers there from the Roosters. I'll just get up the shout out to the Short Ball Instagram page. They cover most of the lower grades content, and I'll just go through their notes that they put out over the weekend from the Roosters performance. I'll start with the SG Ball side. He has a little bit of a match analysis there. We'll like the readout. So shout out to the Short Ball Instagram page. Go give him a follow for your. That's where you get to see most of your content wise on the lower grades and the junior grades. So, match analysis. The game was tight as it gets in the early stages. Neither team looked like giving points away, and some elite desperation defense helped that cause. Penrith won the period before halftime. 3 tries down their left edge had them up 16-0 before a late Farcao try had it 16 points to 6 at halftime. The Roosters responded with 2 of their key players in Darcy Smith and Carter McHale hitting back. A late penalty gave them the 18-16 lead with less than 10 on the clock. Neither team wanted to win in the final 10 minutes, but the Roosters hold on. Yeah, look, obviously, I watched that game. I watched pretty much rugby league, on Saturday or yesterday from 9 a.m. pretty much to 9 at night. So we had Harold Matts kicking off at 9 o'clock in my time. Then 10:30 we had the SG Ball. Then after that, about 12 o'clock, we had the Harold Matts Central Coast Roosters side. 1:30, 1 o'clock, we had the SG Ball Central Coast Roosters side. Then I watched a little bit of the, I think it was the Tasha Gale it was Laurie Daly Cup or something like that, into the 2 trial games between the Knights and the Knights Dragons, Bulldogs Cowboys, other way around. Sorry, Bulldogs Cowboys, Knights Dragons. But I was entrenched in rugby league footy yesterday. It was great to see and great to have the footy back. But yes, it was a very good performance at stages for the Roosters. A great gutsy comeback. But I will say that that last 10 minutes wasn't the best day. There's one thing I wanted to point out, though. I don't want to really be doing critique at all, but there was one moment in about 90 seconds left in the game. The Panthers off the scrum put a chip and chase in. We recovered it, and then we went made a line break from that into space, and then we kicked the ball dead trying to score the try. Now, I don't mind that, but at the same time, it was a bit of a rush of blood and sort of, didn't really take advantage of the game situation where we're up by 2 points inside the last 2 minutes. That's where, in the game scenario, we just got to, shut up shop. Well, not shut up shop completely, but take the tackle. We got 6 tackles on their goal line. We're in field position and just grind out the clock. We were ahead of the scoreboard. We were leading the game. The clock was on our favor, and we had field position. So we just had to, red set, complete our set, kick it in, hand the ball over on their try line, and we win the game. But we did hang on. Obviously, there wasn't much time left after that 20-meter restart, but just allowing them to have that 20-meter restart and allowing them to have one last opportunity to win the game, maybe have their time back. And I'm sure Boy Cordner and the team at the SG Ball side will be definitely working on that in that game scenario situations going forward and knowing when the right time to do those things. I understand they're young. I mean, they're under 19 years of age. So that rush of blood and adrenaline playing at that sort of level can get to you, but obviously in future reference, I'm sure they'll rectify that in the coming weeks. But yes, definitely Darcy Smith is a guy to look out for in my opinion, and maybe there might be a way that we might see Darcy Smith even be mentioned or even feature in the trial games this weekend. Time will tell on that one. I saw Jared at Mascot Oval. He was watching the Roosters and Panthers game, and it's great. And obviously, I saw Luke Keary and Jared are very invested in the academy in the lower grades, in the junior grades, which is great to see. And obviously we'll see a lot more of Jared and that in helping out through the academy throughout the season for sure. I just got some analysis from the Harold Matts Roosters side, the under 17 side. The Roosters had control through the opening 20 minutes as the Panthers struggled to hold on to the footy. Isaiah Tonga and Marcus Sando, what a name, went hard early, controlling the middle. The right edge of the Panthers got to work and crosses the level of scores at halftime. The second half was a shocking watch for the Roosters' perspective. The struggle to complete a set as the Panthers ran up score. Great second half from the Panthers. Huge statement win. Yeah, look, I don't know if is it just me or is it why do the Roosters across the board from first grade all the way to the under 17s just can't hold on to the footy? Completion rate from the Roosters, Howard Matt's side yesterday was pretty disappointing to me, in my opinion. But look, it's the first game of the season, and they're young too. They're 17 years of age under that, so you can't be really heavily critiquing them at all. But yeah, I'm sure they'll be rectified that. But yeah, look, there were stages there where they were pretty good early stages, but then they just couldn't hold on to the footy. The Roosters, Howard Matt's side, and I'm sure they'll get better as the season progresses. The Howard Matt's Central Coast side looks very, very strong as well, and they had a great victory against Balmain yesterday as well. The SG Ball side as well, their Central Coast side, they were a bit disappointing, but it's their first competition. It's basically a new team because they've never had a SG Ball side. Most of the Howard Matt's teams, the Roosters and Central Coast Howard Matt's teams combined together to form the SG Ball sides in the past, but they've all gone a separate way this year, kind of thing. So I'm sure there'll be a work in progress in that as well. But yeah. So that's sorted our lower grades reaction today. So that's our wrap up from the lower grades. Excuse me. Knights Roosters. Well, you guys lost yesterday. Someone asked me as well, what are your thoughts on Sando's not official debut, but his first game in Newcastle colours in that trial game yesterday. He had some good moments as well, and I do believe that Sando is probably the best bet to be the half alongside Dylan Brown for the Knights. I think that's where their best option is. I love how he takes the line on. He's he's really, he's still a really good player, Sando, and obviously, we wish him all the best at Newcastle. Hopefully, he kills it up there. But yes, so obviously got I think Cooper. Not Cooper. What's his name? The young half from St George. I forgot his name again. Reed. Is it Reed? Kai Reed? No, Kai and Reed or something like that. Yeah, he had a great game. And I remember him coming up against us in that trial game last year as well. So he's a kid of the future for St George. And they'll be definitely 100% making sure they keep an eye on him. That run chase as well when he ran down Sando was Cade Reed. Yeah, he was. Yeah, that was probably the highlight of the night for me in my opinion. But Sando did have some nice moments. He had a nice cutout ball. Set up a nice try for the Dragons as well, for the Knights. But yeah, I'm sure over time he'll he's in a new system. He'll continue the build. I have no doubt about that at all. All right, well, we've hit over the half an hour mark. I believe that's everything I've wanted to cover tonight. I know I do apologize for the late start. A lot of you came in here, so I really appreciate you guys joining us and having your say on this matter. Like I said, guys, we've got stacked of Roosters content on the Diehards starting tomorrow. We've got our usual news roundup for tomorrow as we look forward to it as game week on the Diehards, as we obviously got the news roundup tomorrow. We've also got team list predictor video on Tuesday, alongside with the live stream reaction to the team list Tuesday afternoon. Wednesday, the Chook Chat podcast, as well as our usual news roundup. Thursday, so we've got a Sydney Roosters season preview with League on Wednesday. Chook Chat podcast with Joel from the Ruck and Fidget podcast on Thursday. Friday, a match preview into the watch along on my personal channel, Haynes_IT, along with our match reaction on here immediately following that game on Saturday, and then our weekend wrap up on Sunday. So we've got daily content starting tonight. So I really appreciate your time and stay tuned. And we just hit over 500 subscribers. So thank you very much for your continued support. I do want to say thank you, everyone who has stuck with us over the off season. I really appreciate it. We've been on here since November, getting through the tough days of the off season / preseason, but we've arrived. We've got through it. We got through 4 months without the Roosters playing footy, and it ends on Saturday. So thank you everyone who's tuned in so far. Thanks for tuning in tonight, guys. Really appreciate it. I do apologize for the late start, but thank you very much for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the Sydney Roosters Diehards. Give us a follow on the Instagram page as well. We'll be launching this week Spotify for our podcast, and all our content on here will also be replayed on Spotify as well. Really excited to launch that with you guys this week as well. And you'd like to subscribe to my personal channel, Haynes_T. That's where you guys are gonna see all the live stream watch alongs for the Roosters and other live stream watch alongs I do through the NRL. So thank you very much, guys. I'm going to get out of here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and goodbye for now. See ya.